she's adultery. She's doing adulterous thing. To him, a woman caught in adultery, she's married or she has somebody and she's sleeping with another person. That's adultery there. And when they had set her in the midst, they said to her, "Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery in the very act." In the Jewish book, if you catch somebody adultery in the very act, I don't know how it can be done. It's difficult, but if it happens, you are allowed to stone the people to death. In the Sharia laws, is there. So this is similar to what the laws the Jewish people were doing, and even the Arabs are doing today, the Muslims do today. So Muslims, they believe that they follow through what the tradition says more than even the Christians. And Christians also believe that Jesus Christ, the actions that Jesus Christ did, demonstrate something that the old things that they are holding on to is not right, because they even believe in Jesus Christ. Then they have to accept the fact that if Jesus Christ then told them that anyone without sin should cast the first stone, should give them to override whatever the law said, that gives that at the end of the day, even though the law said that you as a person have not got the right to put it into practice because you don't even follow the law. And she that you are going to kill or stone to death is not following the law. She's equal to you. She's just like you. So why would you stone her? So Jesus Christ is used in the Christian sense. That's where the debates are. The woman was caught in the adultery. Now 5 says that Moses in the law commanded us that such should be done, should be stoned. But what do you say? This they said, testing him, that they might have something of which to accuse him. But Jesus stood up down and wrote on the ground with his finger, as though he did not hear, pretending he did not hear them, and he started writing on the ground. Now, when elders, people who are older with gray hair, and they look at this man here, they know he's a young guy, even though they themselves, in their senses, know that, even though the Moses' law said that, they know that they are not righteous themselves before God. But they were having the right inside them, the authority, the pride of life given to them due to the people who have voted them there, or their own effort of studying. They've got their pride of life. So whatever was moving them to do what they are doing was not of the Father, according to what we read in the same New Testament books. The pride of life coming in here, was moving them to do such a silly thing, that they're going to stone somebody to death, somebody who is sinning just like they are sinning. Now they are able to look into the scripture and know that she has sinned. But they look into the scripture and they know that they also have sinned. They are sinners. But they don't stone themselves to death. They don't stone themselves to death. The same thing is happening today. It's no difference. And she's been caught in the act. So the Islamic people today, if they catch somebody in the act, those who are more, religiously Islamic controlling world where they still hold on to religious life, they will stone you to death. If they catch you today, they will look into the Quran. And if you have to cut your throat, they will cut you. If it means hanging, they will hang you. If it means they will do you. The person who is doing it is even a sinner. Could you believe that? Because the thing is, his sin has not got a punishment yet. Maybe that's what they say. But they also believe in the 10 Commandments. They also believe in Moses also. And I'm sure that the things similar to of which whatever sin, every sin has got its punishment. So whatever that person who is cutting the throat has sinned of, has got a punishment there. Has he paid his punishment? Has the leader who instructed them to slash the throat or to stone the woman, has she or has he gone through thoroughly, to check himself and know that he himself has fulfilled the rules and the regulations? Has he, met his requirements yet? No. Even if he finds it there, he'll close his eyes and look inside the book and look at the one that will suit him. That's what today is done. Most pastors or preachers will tell you that when you take the book, take the one that is good for you. Don't take everything, because there's places that will put you guilty, will make you guilty. I mean, who are we kidding? This is what was happening, the same thing. And people get stoned to death. This poor woman here has been caught by the people. They put him outside. So when maybe the husband was even behind it, why would you do that? And to go and find out maybe the man himself has been sleeping with other women, prostitutions or other women. But it's allowed because the man, he's a man, he can do that, but the woman can't do that. She also has got fulfillment, has got desires in her. She felt for that person that she slept with. Who knows that even the outcome of them sleeping will probably end up with pregnancy, with a baby who will uniquely come into the world. In fact, it's the same situation we see where Solomon, one of the great kings in the tradition of Abraham, built a temple. They was king as the wisest person. Yet it is through adultery. That child was born through adultery. Jesus, God, as we say, Jesus being a great prophet, came out of this genealogy of people. The genealogy of Solomon and David and adulterous generation that the people were accusing of being adultery, sinful generation. This was how he came. He came through that David generation. He was born through that end. His Joseph and Mary are all cousins coming from this genealogy. So if God has no issue, God is proving a point. Your own Jehovah is proving a point to you and I that, hey, this is it. Can't you see the facts there before you? Ooh, I say so. I have said so in the book. Jehovah have said so. It's written black and white. But what gives you and I the right to act upon or touch anybody? You are not willing to follow through. And somebody is not willing to follow through. You, because they appointed you as a leader, you think you have the right to exercise it. The rules here, because you are above the rule now, the rules now. Where did we know that from? Where did we get it from? He was telling the Pharisees who were leaders. Now, if they were leaders, and Jesus, if you accept Jesus as a prophet, then in so many sense, he has spoken to the leaders that you people think you are above the law. Here you are. This is the thing. I say, you, if you are not without sin, cast the first stone. So when they continued asking him, he raised himself up and said to him, they were insisting. He said, okay. In 8, he says, he who is without sin among you, let him throw a stone at her first. And in 7, that's what I just read. In 8, he says, and again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground. In 9, then those who heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning with the oldest even to the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Jesus had raised himself up and saw no one but the woman, he said to her, Woman, where are those accusers of yours? Has no one condemned you? Where are the accusers of you? Those who are accusing you, where are they? Have they not condemned you? She said, No one, Lord. And Jesus said to her, Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. If these people are not condemning you, then I'm also not condemning you. Go. Don't sin anymore. It's a friendly and human advice. Because even if Jesus considered himself to be righteous at that time and not counted himself part of sinners, he's coming from the same genealogy. He's practicing the same culture, the same religion. If he is above the law, is the son of God, if the son of God is above the law, he alone could have stoned the girl to death. But from what he did, his actions, do you think he was disobeying? Because of this, he had disobeyed the law because he was righteous and he could have stoned the girl. And because he didn't stone the girl, then he has disobeyed the laws. So somehow, Jesus has not fulfilled the scripture. Is that what we should? No. You can think along that line. He said he fulfilled the scripture. And in this statement here, in so many sense, his blood inside him is a man. He has come from the same genealogy of Solomon and all that. So the slightest thing he would do, he's equally convicted. He felt the same conscience of guilt that they felt. Because the laws were on his head like it's on their head. They all have these laws on their head.